Welcome to the Hookup on Music with your host, Tony Bird.
I'm here, everybody. How you doing today? And welcome to a brand new year of the Hookup on Music. I am excited to be here tonight. Very excited because you know why? It is episode 100. We have made it 2 full seasons. Today we start season 3. I'm excited to see what this new season's going to bring us, what guests we will have, what music conversations will come up, what new topics will be thrown at our feet. Again, my name is Tony B, and I am your host of the Hookup on Music. I appreciate you tuning in this week. We've got a lot of good stuff to get to, so why wait any longer? Let's get started. Let's get started and talk about a little bit. If you happen to catch the Winter Classic, if you are a hockey fan, the Blackhawks played here in Chicago in that. And who else was part of that? A little bit of a band called the Smashing Pumpkins. Yes, they played, and Billy's voice did not sound as good as it did at that Aragon on Ballroom show a couple weeks ago. Probably because it was cold outside and you were playing in Wrigley Field. I still have yet to see a show in Wrigley Field. I am curious to hear your thoughts on the shows at Wrigley Field and to see what you think about some of those shows, because I've heard mixed reviews of the sound there. But again, curious if you had caught that Smashing Pumpkins little piece that they performed tonight, which again, not quite the song that I would think is a good one to play at a hockey game. I would think you might want to play something a little bit more rocking at the very least. Bullet with Butterfly Wings, Zero, something with some guitar today, Chirp Rock. So many different things. The boys went with Tonight, which again, I guess it was better than going with Disarm. But again, very interesting that that's what they decided to roll with. A lot of good albums this past year. I mean, we've been talking about some of them in a recent couple weeks ago. We talked about a couple of them with my main man Mike came on the show. But let's go through a couple of the other ones that maybe we have brought up on the show. Sleater Kinney's Little Rope. If you have not checked that out, that was really good. Six Mistakes was a classic on that one. Sleater Kinney had been around a long time, so to see them still putting out quality work. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, another artist who has been putting out work since, well, the 80s. Nick Cave, Joy, just a really good track, shimmering, blustering, billowing. Definitely a lot of vulnerability on this new album. From Nick Cave. Wild God is one that came out this year. If you have not checked that out, I would say please go ahead and do that. Always good to see what good old Nick is up to. We definitely talked about Kerry King's From Hell I Arise, his first solo album. Really kind of crazy considering that never thought that Slayer was going to get back together after this was released. I even talked about that on the show. Kerry had said as much so, and then what do? They get back together and do some reunion shows over the summer, one being at the Riot Fest. So, but very interesting to see them kind of deciding that, you know what, this is Kerry's going to put on a solo album here, but we're going to get back together. But again, if you have not listened to Hell I Arise, from Kerry King, it's really good if you're a Slayer fan, which I know a lot of you are Slayer fans. Charlie Crockett's $10 Cowboy was a really good mixture of great hooks, phrases, songs about drifters, definitely some really good country, blues, soul, Americana, a lot of different sounds going on $10 Cowboy. If you have not checked out his 13th studio album, I definitely suggest that you do that as soon as you get an opportunity to do so, because honestly, what else can we do here? Last Dinner Parties, Prelude to Ecstasy, great album. Tracks like Burn Alive, Caesar on a TV Screen, Sinner, just really good stuff. Makes you bob your head. I definitely did while I was listening to that this year. But if you have not listened to that, or Vince Staples' Dark Times, which was really, really good. Uh, Songs like Justin definitely stand out. Definitely talk about hit a lot of sensitive subjects, which is definitely something that you're looking for when you're looking for good music. Vince Staples is definitely never has a problem doing that, which is again, well, Brett Clay Strays brought him up last week. Made by These Moments, great album. If you haven't listened to it again, check that out. It is definitely going to not disappoint. Fontaine's DC's Romance, again, probably one of my favorites of the year, right there. The song Favorite is definitely a good track that gets things going, gets the blood pumping, and they definitely don't have any problems with getting that going. An artist that I gotta listen a little bit more, but this Shabuzi, just like that name, Shabuzi. St. Vincent had an album come out this year, All Born Screaming, which was good, great, excellent stuff. Talked about that Cure album. Check that out again. I was a fan of Vampire Weekend's Only God Was Above Us. Definitely interesting sounds going on with them. Often do they push the boundaries on their albums, and Only God Was Above Us was definitely no no slouch in pushing the boundaries, which again this year a lot of albums push boundaries. The Smiles, Wall of the Eyes, if you have not checked this album out, another new one that came out from the guys who are part of Radiohead, but they put this side project together. A lot of good quote unquote gorgeous bangers on this album. I like to say that term, bangers. But again, doing really, really well in the releases department. You like Sonic Youth? We talked about them last week. Their co-founder Kim Gordon was definitely no slouch. Definitely put out a solo album that was definitely worth your time to check out. If you have not checked that out, Kendrick Lamar's good one, new one. GNX was definitely a good one. Jack White's No Name, lots of good stuff there. Stuff that sounds like, well, if you like heavy, you like concise, you like that James Gang type of swing, it's definitely not going to disappoint in any degree. Tyler Creator's Chromopagia is definitely something to check out if you have not checked that out yet. Um, a lot of good stuff. My man Mike, he brought up that wax Waxhachit Waxhachi. I can't do it tonight. Waxhachi. Waxahachi. I got it. There we go. I think I got it there. Tiger's Blood, definitely worth checking out. Love playing around with that name. Definitely an excellent, excellent album. Charlie X CX's Brat was something to definitely make you think this year, which is what we wanted with our musicians. Wanted a lot of thinking, a lot of heaviness was also on the docket in the year. In the year, what's the word I'm looking for? The year 2024, but the year of just a lot of good albums, Bruce Dickinson had an album come out, The Mandrake Project, which was really, really good if you're looking for heavy. Knock Loose, his new one was definitely really good. You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. We definitely talked about that. Juice Priest, Invincible Shield, Gatekeepers, Dark Superstition. Are you a fan of really, really good old heavy? Well, check out some Accepts Humanoid. Not a terrible album. Static X's Project Regeneration Volume 1, Green Day Saviors was another one that came out this year. I'm always a fan of Opeth. They did a good job this year with The Last Will and Testament. High on Fire, Comet the Storm, Blood Incarnation, Absolute Elsewhere. You're not going to be disappointed by any of these albums that I have mentioned here today. Lots of good stuff, lots of deep stuff. Take some time to check some of that out. You're definitely not going to want to be disappointed. Just like I wasn't disappointed. Saw somebody reach out and say, check out this new artist called the Destroy Boys. And I said, you know what? Let's do that. The Destroy Boys. very wasn't on my radar this year to check out. So close to the end, but they had a new one come out this year in August of 2024, Funeral Soundtrack number 4, which is a really good title for this little band that has come out and was conceived by the guitarist and backing vocals Vilas uh, Meku during a tour in Europe, which is very cool to see Carlos de la Garza produce this album. Lots of good sounds on this. Are you into something that's cool? Listen to Blocked. Look into Should Have Been Me is definitely another one that definitely stands out for me listening to it for the first time. But all tracks were written by the band Alexis Rodriguez, Violet Mayuguba, David Orocha, and Narse Malik. Not some of the easiest pronunciations there. But if you're interested a little bit more at what De La Garza has brought and who has he been a producer of, he's produced Paramore, Cold War Kids, definitely some Bad Religion. So you like the punk, he's going to definitely probably deliver an excellent punk sound. Digging back through their catalog, the band does not disappoint when delivering an awesome punk sound. But again, this Funeral Soundtrack number 4 on Hopeless Records, 30 minutes and 49 seconds. Check it out, please. 11 songs, ending with a track called Boy Feel. Also, Mannequin Pussy and Scowl join on You Hear Yes, which definitely some unique band names there. Really, 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 really good. They've been around since 2015, so 9 years they have been around. Studio albums, this is their first one since 2021's Open Mouth, Open Heart. This is their 4th one altogether. The singles off this album so far, been releasing them like hot water, okay? Beg for Torture was first released in August 6th of 2023. Last single, August 8th, 6th, You Hear Yes. 2024. Check it out. A lot of fun songs on here. A lot of seriousness, I would say. A lot of just good old-fashioned punk rock, I think, is something that we all long for here. And well, Funeral Soundtrack number 4 does a good job doing that, and it was an excellent release in 2024. So check that out. I'm glad it was shared with us. Thank you so much for always sharing music with us. Do appreciate that. Also, always appreciate when we can get together and discuss any kind of music. So let's see what we got coming up next here. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. The great Wu-Tang Clan is our artist of the week. Artist of the week, Wu-Tang Clan. Let's get started. Let's bring the great Wu-Tang Clan. Formed in Staten Island, New York City in 1992, comprised of RZA, GZA, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Inspector Death, Yugon, Master Killa, and until his sad, unfortunate passing, Old Dirty Bastard, a close affiliate who later became a full-time member as Capadonna, definitely excellently represents the West, I almost messed that up. East Coast, definitely not a West Coast artist here, but the Wu-Tang Clan definitely doesn't have any problem with expressing themselves in an awesome way. Definitely bring it, especially on their debut album, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. I've talked about that before on here. Have nothing but heard positive reviews from that. My first indication of the band was on the Wu-Tang Forever album, their second release, and that track you just heard there was a little song called Triumph, debuting on the top 200 best. Also was nominated for Best Rap Album at the Grammy Awards of that year. Definitely an interesting artist and group. Only releasing 8 albums. Last one was Once Upon a Time in Shaolin in 2015. Also, after Wu-Tang Forever was the W in 2000, Iron Flag in 2001, Eight Diagrams 2007, and A Better Tomorrow in 2014. Lot of collaborators, a lot of people who have got together with them and really started to quote unquote want to work with them quite a bit. On top of, you would think, of all the people they have already in the band. Very, very interesting though. Um, but what's also interesting is that not only if you are a fan of Wu-Tang, is all the artists that I have mentioned who are a part of Wu-Tang Clan, please take some time and go ahead and dig a little bit deeper into their solo work, because you're not going to be disappointed, especially if you are a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan in so many different ways, like I know that you are. The Wu-Tang Clan has many fans all over, and I am just sure that you are probably one of many of them out there. If you are, and if you're not, it's about time to start getting into them, because honestly, they put out some really, really good work. Also, very cool to see people who have their yard signs. There's in their front yard, which is really, really cool when you really think about it. But back to what Wu-Tang Clan. Um, RZA, who is the brainchild behind all of this, um, started to really wanted to mix some Eastern philosophy picked up from his kung fu movies, and then also mix in those New York streets in which he was a part of, comic books. And as you can see, this is the altogetherings of the Mr. Wu-Tang Clan. I addressed it like it was a person, and they should be, because they shall be respected by the Hookup on Music. But again, we've talked about, like I said, that debut album. Debut album hits really, really, really hard. But digging into the second album, which is a very, very interesting move, they come out with a double album, 67 minutes double album for an artist of this caliber is amazing. Um, this band, I call everyone band, because everyone here is a band, everyone here is an artist, everyone here works very, very hard on their craft that we bring to the Hookup on Music. There are no slouches. And on Wu-Tang Forever, you can definitely just realize that on tracks like Reunited, Visions, A Better Tomorrow, definitely not the projects. Duck Season is a good one. That's a really good one. Heaters, but you're really going to hear artists who are put in, well, after that debut album, wanting to even go a little bit deeper into the magic in which they possess. And definitely Wu-Tang Forever has no problems with having any kind of magic. The next album, The W, which is a very interesting, um, it was a really interesting, I think, I don't want to know if I don't know what to call it compared to those first two albums. Good stuff on it though. Gravel Pit, a very interesting solo. Um, it was sadly not as popular as some of their other tracks, probably because the beats on it were a little ahead of its time, I think, and the music video was definitely kinda cool too. They were, in, like, almost 2 million BC, just really crazy, pits and, Stone Age, and, really kinda crazy was, Bo Rockhard, who is in the movie, Bokeem Woodbine, an excellent actor, is in this music video, but, if you're interesting though, the trumpet introduction to the song is a little bit of a James Brown track. It's a man's world. So the next time, it also took samples from Enter the Dragon and Short Eyes, which, if you are not familiar with what Short Eyes is, that is a movie that came out in 1977, a prison drama film. Very interesting, because before doing research for this, I had never seen that. And please, you know me, at the show coming back next Friday with Shawshank Redemption. Can't wait to dig into that, see what that's got musically, what else we'll have in store for that. But back to Wu Tang, um, really, really good stuff, and they are always putting out good stuff. Which when you're into the Wu-Tang, you're gonna want to say, you know, what was Iron Flag? Another only a year. What's crazy is because there was a gap of 4 years that separated the first album and the second album, 3 years between the second and the third album. But those, like we said before, were filled with solo albums. Only a year um, between that, and also very interesting is that Old Dirty Bastard sadly was becoming less and less and less in the fold at this point. His work on these last two albums that I just mentioned were a little less than you would have expected. But again, this is the Wu-Tang Clan. And I don't even want to talk about that album that they made, that they put in the vault and some rich guy bought. I don't want to talk about that album. I don't want to talk about that one. But we can't talk about 8 Diagrams, which was pretty good. Was on Universal Motown. Interesting. Don't think of Wu-Tang on any what's the word I'm looking for? Type of a label like Motown was drawn a blank there, because I'm kind of on this album just blown away that they were able to get Donnie Harrison, who was George Harrison's son, and John Frusciante do The Heart Gently Weeps. Very, very interesting to do that. Also very, very interesting. Lots of good contributions of this. Which if you're curious, just to hear some of Frusciante's guitar work on that one is definitely curious. A Better Tomorrow was the sixth studio album, debuted at 29. I mean, they're not selling as many albums, sadly, but and songs like Ruckus in B minor to start it off, where the first one is Bring the Ruckus. I don't know. I don't know how you feel. I don't know if you think that is this band. Are they still at their top of their peak of their game? That's what we kind of want to know for you out there. Let us know what you think. If they are still a band at the top of their peak, they can be. We just don't know. Just like another question that was thrown at my feet this week: Bruce Springsteen versus Bob Seger. Holy moly! To me, I can't answer this question. Maybe you can out there. They are just both loaded with so many great tracks that I personally love. Deep tracks too. I mean, if we just go by deep cuts, take away all the hits, we just go by deep cuts. That's a battle in itself. That's tough. Both artists are excellent songwriters. Have done songwriting for other artists. Bob Seger has written songs for the Eagles. Bruce Springsteen has written songs for Patti Smith, and so many others, that we're not even mentioning. But We've Got Tonight is just such a great track. Jungle Land is such an awesome song. We're going to have to get somebody on here to narrow this one down. I'm kind of curious for this one and curious to see what you kind of think. A live show goes, I mean, I think you're gonna have to give it to Bruce on the live, but we're not here to talk about the live stuff. We're here to talk about a little bit more than just the live. And thank you. I would just want to say thank you for joining us and asking these questions out there, because they are always questions that I am curious about. Just like, how do these guys in Mudvayne put on this makeup? Really great band from Peoria, Illinois, who I've had the opportunity to see a couple times. Once at the Tattoo the Earth Festival. Just another band. I mean, 5 albums. That's it. 24 years, 5 albums. Okay. If you could go to Lost and Found, this song Happy, this song is a banger, which used to play on Headbangers Ball. Which missed that show quite a lot, especially on Saturday nights. But again, you listening to Mudvayne, I think it's time, if you haven't, to dig into them, because again, great live show. Guys who've been doing it for a long time, excellent musicianship. The slap bassing, I love when I say that. The slap bassing, is some of their, I think, greatest work. Ryan Martini, is just an excellent, excellent bassist. If you haven't just sat down and listened to his work, listen to any of their tracks, you will not be disappointed, at all. Just like you're not gonna be disappointed in tonight's song of the week. Depeche Mode's A Question of Time. When's the last time you jammed this one super loud? If you haven't, definitely, you should hear pretty like right now if you're done listening to the show, because it is a good one from 1986. Is when it was released. Just excellent, excellent track from their fifth studio album, Black Celebration. There's another track on the album, A Question of Time, not quite the same because that one's slower. This one really, really rocks. The music video, if you get a chance to check that out, is directed by Anton Corbijn, who does just great, great, great directing work. You may say, Tony B, what else has he directed? Enjoy the Silence, One by U2, Coldplay's Talk, just a lot of good stuff. Bryan Adams, Heart Shaped Box. If you have not, check out some of his stuff. Killer Wolf by Danzig off of Danzig 2, which Danzig 2 is really cool. You gotta like Danzig 2. But A Question of Time is really an excellent, just a description of a band who is just rocking on all fronts. Lyrics are a little risque. If you go ahead and check those out, but what sometimes isn't risque when you're digging into music or you look at it any different way, maybe it's not risque, maybe it's just me. If you haven't checked out the 101 concert movie, do that. Turn off all the lights and check that out, because I don't think you're going to be disappointed in that at all. Not in the slightest bit, but that is exactly what we want, is you not to be disappointed. Just like most recently, Depeche Mode has come through town within the years. We talked about them here on this show, just like through the weeks to come here. We aren't going to slouch, and we are going to continue to talk about the good stuff, the stuff that makes you happy out there, the musical goods. And A Question of Time is a really excellent Depeche Mode from the mid 80s, which you may be curious that there are longer extended cuts, live versions. You could hear so many great different stuff in all of that. Number 34, dance singles, Clan of Zyomix, a Dutch electronic band. You ever listen to those guys do a cover of the track? On a lot of greatest hits albums. 4 minutes and 13 seconds, produced by Depeche Mode, Gareth Jones and Daniel Miller. Good stuff. Check that out. Please check that out. Some really interesting outfits if you're looking online at this last single cover. But again, really good. Never disappointing is the Depeche Mode, and never disappointing in a good track. But let's move on to our last segment of the night. Filter. I was talking about it for a long time, but I made my way out there. I was at the Filter Hard Rock Casino free concert. 20 songs they played, which was awesome, because if you're not a fan of the band, man, they would have made you a fan. Playing 4 from the Algorithm, 3 from Alma Gilmut, 3 from The Sun Comes Out Tonight, 3 from Title of Record, which my favorite right there is Welcome to the Fold. Also, though, they played Can You Trip Like I Do from the Spawn soundtrack. I've talked about that before on At the Show. Juristol is a great track. 2 from Anthem of the Dam. Of course, Hey Man, Nice Shot from Short Bus, but also in Demon Night and The Trouble with the Angels. But for a free show, 20 songs, not disappointing at all. Just like if you have never been out to the Hard Rock Casino down here in Gary, Indiana, you are not going to be disappointed by their concert venue. A lot of heavy bands from Meshuggah. We've talked about them here this past year. And so many more have come through there. The Killers have been there if you like the Killers. But check it out. Please check it out. And when you're checking that out, thank you for checking us out. Because we are the Hookup on Music, and we do appreciate you being here every single week. We know how tough it is to make it. So thank you so much for making it to our 100th episode. Love talking Wu-Tang Clan, those albums of the year. Check some of those out. You will not be disappointed. Next week, like I said, At the Show is returning. It's getting drafty in here. Go to that website, show us our love and support, because we love and support you. If you would like us at any time, would like to come on the show or like to be a part of anything, please reach out to myself. You could always just go ahead and send a private message on one of the old, what do they call them these days? Social media sites. That's what it is. But again, everyone out there, I want to appreciate you and appreciate this new year. And I can't wait to see what we are going to bring to the table. But I promise you, whatever it will be, I'm not mad. Going to be not mad about it. And we're not going to do any of this. Sorry, Perry. We're not going to retire that one. But until next time, I am Tony B. I do appreciate you all coming and joining me here for so much great talk. See you next week, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. Please look out for the audio version wherever you jam.